This episode of the Beamable Game Dev podcast is going to be a little bit different. It's just going to be me, and we're going to be talking about how to use TikTok as a game dev. Let's jump into it. What is happening? I'm the host of the Beamable Game Dev podcast, Josh Schmidt, and today's going to be a little different episode than usual. A lot of times we'll have a guest on here, but I've been working on something that I just wanted to share with you guys. And the topic that we're going to be covering tonight, please don't check out when I say this, is how to use TikTok as a game developer. Now, I know you're thinking, I got to dance? No, you don't. But TikTok is growing at a staggering rate right now, and it's where the majority of the eyeballs are. You're starting to see, with all the different social media icons on websites, TikTok is starting to be included. And so it's where you want to be. And it's one of the easiest places to create content. And I know that the thing is, one of the biggest hurdles, as soon as I mention TikTok, is people, they always say, I don't know what to create. So let's not focus on the creating aspect of it, and let's just focus on documenting your game development process. It can be that simple. Now, I'm going to kind of break down the video into the videos that you'll be making into like 3 parts. And then we'll also talk a little bit of live streaming. So again, like I said, it's not about creating, it's about documenting. And I know the first thing that pops into my mind when somebody tells me, hey, you should just document. I'm like, why would anybody care about what it is that I'm creating? But they do. They do. If you have people that have similar interests, or maybe they're really into the game that you're creating, they're gonna want to know what's going on with it. I mean, if you think about gamers love any kind of gaming news, any kind of behind the scenes about the games that they love. And so if you can kind of tap into that with TikTok, you've got kind of a winning combination of how to get more eyes on your game, which, I mean, that's a win when it comes time to launch and sell that game. So breaking down the video, it's going to kind of break down into 3 parts. You're going to have the hook, some engaging content, and then maybe a call to action. So the hook is where it's all going to start. And this is where you can kind of create your shtick, right? This is where you're going to know what you're doing the moment you get in to start creating your TikTok, so that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to overthink anything. Do I need to do all these edits and cuts and all this stuff? And the answer really is no. So the hook a lot of times is going to start with a question. Do you want to see the newest enemy, power up, ship, weapon, etc.? All of those different things that just start with the question. Do you want to see? That's the hook. That's going to get them going, well, yeah, I want to see. And then they have to wait until you show it. Well, the longer they're on your video, the better it does in the algorithm. So always start with that question. Right. It could also be something like, do you want to see a crazy bug that I had to fix? You know, maybe you can talk a little bit about that, because there may be some other game devs that are watching. Maybe they get maybe they get a little lesson on how to go about fixing bugs, or maybe they potentially have run into or may run into the same problem. If you have a world to explore, maybe your game's getting close to finished and you have multiple locations, you could say, hey, where would you travel first? And then show those locations, right? These are very simple and quick videos that aren't going to take very long. The other thing is, if it's more than just you, if you have a team, you can also showcase some of the team members. Do you want to meet the sound designer? Do you want to meet the artist? Do you want to meet the programmer? However your team looks, and start introducing the team that's building this game that people are going to love. The hook is important. The other thing with the hook, use some text. Now, maybe you're not comfortable being on front of the camera. That's okay. If you are, turn that front-facing camera on and go to town, record, hey, do you want to see the latest update to my game? And then flip the camera, point it at your monitor, and record whatever it is you're planning on showing. If you're not comfortable with that, maybe take some of the gameplay, whatever it may be. It could just be some kind of like B-roll or just some kind of screen that you use on the regular, but then put text over the top. Within the app, you can type out your question. Do you want to see the newest power up? Right? And then you can also add the voice feature where it will read that out loud. Well, that's automatically going to keep people on your video longer because they've got to see what it's about. Well, they have to read it, right? So in order to read that, or maybe it reads it to them, either way, they're going to have to stick around long enough to hear that. And then they're probably going to want to see what it is that you're showing. So you're going to have them right there. That's going to be your hook. Just starting with the question. Do you want to see this? Do you want to see that? That also takes a lot of the stress of trying to figure out what to create. Just ask that question, use that as your hook. Now, when it comes to the content, show it off. Show off the newest power-up. Show how it works in game. How does the character react to that? Show off the worlds. Show off that crazy bug that you know, because it might be something funny, right? We've all seen different glitches and bugs in games where like stuff just doesn't work quite right, but it looks hilarious. Show that. Document all that stuff. Let everybody see. This is also be great for you because you can look back. You can look back at all the different steps of the game and the different hurdles that maybe you had to overcome, the different problems that you solved. There's a ton here. You can also, I mean, honestly, you could just do a Friday vlog where you just sit and talk about the update, but still start with that hook, right? Still start with that. Do you want to hear about our weekly update, or do you want to hear what awesome thing happened? That's going to be on you to just kind of come up with your shtick on how to keep people engaged when they come across your TikTok. And it will pay off. It will pay off. So the content, again, could be like little bite-sized updates from different team members talking about, you know, what are some of the cool sound effects that went in, or what is some of the artwork that's been updated, or maybe some new lighting or particle effects or something like that. Show the before and after. Some of those, you know, just like the before and after, where you can go, you know, this is looking much better. Like maybe some new textures were added, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's just the overall like gameplay. Like what is the point of the game? What is the objective? And just showcasing the idea that you have. This could also work. You could use TikTok as a way to kind of brainstorm and prototype some things. Hey, what do you think of this mechanic? Or what do you think? You're guaranteed to get feedback, especially from gamers at that point. And that's going to boost engagement. It's going to boost you in the algorithm, and you're going to see your brand grow. I understand, like I said, that there's that, you know, we kind of wonder, like, is it really going to be interesting if I'm just documenting my journey? Because you're doing it day in and day out. You're making the games. You see it all the time. But for people on the outside that, one, maybe care about the project, or two, just want to understand game development better, they're going to be intrigued. They're going to be interested. So show them, right? The last thing after, you know, so you've got your hook. What are you going to do to keep them engaged, keep them in there? You've got the content that you want to make sure is, you know, it's adding value. It's keeping their interest so that they watch the video all the way through, or maybe even watch it a second time. That's huge for the algorithm. The third thing is the call to action. Now, a call to action can be something as simple as make sure to hit that follow button. That's a very simple, you know, simple call to action. Hit that follow button for updates. Okay. When it gets closer to the launch, your call to action may be something like directing your audience to your Steam page. The whole video might even be a call to action where it's like, hey, we're up in early access, or whatever the case may be, and then you send them over to your Steam page. The other call to action is inviting people to your Discord server, right? And you could have the link in your bio, and it gives your community a place to interact with you, give you feedback, and just get people together that are excited about the game that you're making. And so there's just a handful of of different, the different calls to action that you can use to kind of leverage those views that you might be getting off of TikTok. If you have a video go viral, I've had some videos that hit 4.5 million views. The call to action to my Discord is in there. That's gonna blow up the amount of people that show up for that and that come hang out in the Discord. Now, maybe the call to action is to your live stream. So we're going to talk a little bit about live streaming and even some of my experiences recently. I've been live streaming a lot on TikTok, and it was not fancy. I created a scene on OBS, and it was a 1080 by 1920 canvas, so it looked like a vertical phone screen. And I built my scene. I put the camera, then my gameplay, and then a little overlay underneath. Now, you could put your camera and then maybe the stuff that you're coding, or it's Unity or Unreal, whatever the case may be, that could be there. And then below it, you could even include some calls to action like, hey, here's our Discord link, or here's where you can find us on Steam, whatever the case may be. Just kind of, very simple graphics, a little bit of text. Now you've got that brand building happening every time you're live. The thing with lives is I've had some lives where 150,000 people have come through in a very, very short time. And that's really the power of this platform. And that's why I encourage people to do it. You could get on Twitch and live stream, and there are studios that do. But you're not going to get the reach that you can get on TikTok right now. And if you don't have the ability to, if you don't have a stream key from TikTok, that's okay. You can just use your phone. Like I said, I literally would just I would set up my scene on OBS and point my phone at the screen, and then I would make some adjustments, to get it just right. And then I would just do my live just like that. The microphone's there, the camera's there, and you can start showcasing it. Maybe you don't even build the scene. I see people all the time that literally point their phone just at their monitor, just of gameplay, and that's it. That's all they're doing. And the beauty of this is you can do it while you're working. Maybe you can't focus a ton on the chat and stuff, and that's okay. But you can create content while you're working, and just periodically, chat with whoever's in there, or maybe you can have people pin a question. There's different things you can do to make the content a little more engaging. Some people just like watching the process. I have a friend who's an artist, and I mean, it's literally he'll look at chat periodically and say what's up and try to catch up. But other than that, his head is down and he's just drawing. So you will find people that do just want to see the process of the game being made, and you can do it live without having to do any extra steps, right? And that's really the idea here, that you can take maybe 5 minutes out of your day and put up a TikTok video that has the potential to reach a massive amount of people that this early on in the game could be life-changing, right? Because with TikTok being so early on and the algorithm being what it is, you could put out a video that could change your life. A 15-second video, a 7-second video anyway, that could just cause your game to be a massive, massive success, and not with very little investment. And the other platforms, the other social media platforms, if you want eyes, you got to pay. You got to pay for that advertising. That's not the case right now on TikTok. And you can pay, and it's much cheaper than the other platforms as well. So document your journey, get your hook, find out what's your shtick. What is it that you can, what question can you ask each time that you go to make a video? What's your question? Come up with that. The answer will fill itself in. Get your call to action. Doesn't have to be on every video. Every video doesn't have to be about trying to get your audience to move. You can do like an 80-20 kind of thing. Do 8 videos and then 2 that have calls to action. So out of your 10 videos, only 2 of them have calls to action. You can also have those calls to action just be like, a little graphic of your Discord with your link or whatever. That's something I've done in the past as well. And then potentially live streaming. You can live stream what it is you're making, what it is you're doing, and potentially build an audience. And as you build that audience, you increase your chances of sales. So if you got any questions or comments about this, you can jump into our Discord, beamable.com/Discord. If you do have any questions or comments about this and you're watching on YouTube, please leave them down below. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Beamable Game Dev Podcast. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Beamable Game Dev Podcast. If you'd like to chat with other game devs, make sure to head over to our Discord, beamable.com/Discord. And if you'd like to try Beamable for free, head on over to beamable.com.